Hello there. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss about enabling static routing. Uh, in Cisco Packet Tracer, we created a network, and in last tutorial, we stable a network. We gave IP addresses, and all routers are connected with each other and with their end devices, but still routing is not enabled. And this time we're going to enable routing statically. The first tutorial is like that only. We will enable routing statically. So what the command of static routing is, so IP space route space destination IP or destination network space your mask subnet mask. uh, so for example, this is what we put a IP address and all that. So we actually feed the IP of 10s1 in the serial port. Then at router 1 we feed the IP of 10s2, and then 20s1, then 20s 2, so like that. And same way a fast ethernet port, we put a fast ethernet 192.168.1.1, then 2.1, then 3.1, like that. So destination networks mask we want to communicate with, and the next line call as either exit IP address or enter IP address or next hop IP, next hop interface IP address. So it's known as exit interface IP address, enter interface IP address, or next hop IP interface, next hop IP interface address. So basically what that next hop IP address interface is, for example, if we send a data from serial 0 by 0, tries to route 192.168.2.0 and 20s 2. So if we are making these changes at router 0, then the packet will actually send from the serial 0/1, which is connected to the router 1. So this is what either in some documentations known as exit interface IP address, enter interface IP address. Maybe somewhere you are either sending packets, you are either uh, exiting packets, either it's receiving or sending, whatever. So currently our network is not pinging with each other. The two different routers are not pinging with each other. So pinging with 192.168.1.2, it's pinging because it's a native network. But when talk about the other, it's currently pinging with their native network. But when you talk about even with the DNS, the fast Ethernet, okay. So what? But if we are talking about the a different network, you see destination host unreachable because the routing is yet to implement, not yet uh, implemented yet. So 3.3. Okay. So what we need to do here, we have to first configure, or you have to first put a static routing here. So the command is config terminal, and the IP space route command. This is the format of the command. Now we have to enable routing for destination, which is called 20.0, and the mask of that network is 255.0.0.0. This is the routing we are going to enable. Now the next hop address or interface IP address, which is will be the 10.2, because all packets will be passed from this serial port IP address 10.2. Same if you want to enable routing for 192.168.2.0 network. This is what the serial port is, but once we want to enable for 192.168.2.0, then it's 168.2. As usual, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and as usual the next hop interface IP address is 10.2. You can see here 10.2, because this is how that is the path, that is called a checkpoint where where packets will move. This is where the checkpoint is, to 10.2. Okay, so another network we're going to enable the routing for the 192.168.3.0 subnet mask, and again the same hop address is same, because the address will be same for every network, which is 10.2, because our packets are moving from that network only. Whether it's serial or there's fast Ethernet, that is the first checkpoint our packet will be moving from. So next hop interface IP address. If we want to check routing at configuration terminal, then we have to put do show IP route, and currently you can see codes are connected are 10.0, and currently we enable static routing via S symbol. You can see 20.0 via 10.2, and then connected 192.168.1.0, and with 20.0 it's again routing is enabled via statically via 10.2, and with 192.168.3.0 is also passing from 10.2. So this is what the all about the static routing. Now we have to configure the router 1, the second router of the network. Configure the terminal, and at terminal we have to if we want to check our routing, so do show IP routing. Do of course will be written at configuration mode. Now you can see currently 3 terminals are there, 3 ports are there connected, and 192.168.1.0 we have to enable routing for 3.0, and of course only for the fast Ethernet port, not for serial port, remember, because the router 0 and router 3 already doing things for serial ports, so the middle router in the network needs not to configure anything regarding serial, because one routing is enough to make changes, and that's the reason we just need to enable routing for the fast Ethernet port, not for the static routing. Okay, so wrong. I have to give the command called IP route 192.168.1.0 I have to give the subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and the next hop address will be tens1 because our packet's first checkpoint is tens1. Our packet is basically moving from tens1 only. Okay, so if we want to enable routing for the 192.168.3.0, then we have to move our packets from 3.0. Then our packets will move from 3 2.20.2 the IP. Remember very carefully, make changes since it's a static routing and any wrong command will mess up everything. The network will not work. So 22. Okay, we all done. So only two command. We have to enable routing only for fast input, not for serial, because the consecutive routers are already doing things for serial port. Okay, you can check the routing via show IP route command. So you can see connected ports and statically connected routing. Now at the third router, we have to make changes. We have to enable routing. So let me show you how to. So enable show IP route. Okay, show SHO. Okay, here we go. So currently only two ports are connected, 20.192.168.3.0. So we're gonna have to configure our terminal. And the command will be IP route tens 0.0 network. We want to enable routing for 10.0 network, 255.0.0.0 for that network, and the next hop interface IP address is 21. Hit enter. Okay, same way for the fast Ethernet port, only fast Ethernet port network ID will change and the mask ID will change. Next hop IP interface IP address will not be changed because this is the first checkpoint for our packets. So 21. Same way for IP space route 192.168.3.0. Okay, 1.0 because we are itself sitting at 3.0 network. So 255.255.0. Sorry for the correction. Correction is 192.168.1.0. So two networks we want to enable routing is 192.168.2.0 and 192.168.1.0. Okay, so 21 will be the next hop IP interface. Okay, so all is done for me. We are configure the routing 3 router. The middle router we configure 2 fast Ethernet port, and at the router 0 we have to configure 2 fast Ethernet port and a serial port. At the third router we have to configure 2 fast Ethernet port and a serial port. So this will keeps on complicating. If you keeps on increasing network, will keeps on complicating. So remember, don't be mess of things, otherwise will be trouble you. So we will changed the routing configuration. So let's see whether we able to ping. Yes, we able to ping from PC0. We able to ping the 3.3. Same with 2.3 network. The PC wants to configure with. Here we go. We able to communicate with. We able to send ping, send IP, send packets, the IP address. Here also PC3. So 1.3 wants to communicate with, wants to ping with. Here we go. We are able to reply, to get a reply. Same with 3.3. Here we go. So this is what static routing is all about, and you can check even at the third network's PC 192.168.1.2. Here we go. Be able to reply. Be able to get the reply. Same with 2.2. Here we go. So hope you learned something about static routing. Remember, it's a very tough thing because we have to manually enable routing for every network. Not the case with dynamic routing. It will be very simple. I hope you learned something about static routing. Thanks for watching.